Welcome to yet another episode of Prophetic Insight, where we critically analyze and dissect prophecies made by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. And today we investigate a prophecy concerning the currently sitting Vice President of the Republic of South Africa, CYRIL Ramaphosa. And to my right, I have my panel of prophetic analysts. Welcome, Pastor Keta.
Thank you, man of God, for having me on the program. It's always a pleasure. Welcome, viewers.
Welcome, Pastor Kwaramba.
Thank you, my brother. It's such an honor to be on this program. Welcome, our viewers.
I'm your host, Simbarashe Kwaramba, and today we dig deep into a prophecy concerning the Vice President of the Republic of South Africa, CYRIL Ramaphosa, made by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa on the 18th of March. Viewers, let's take a look.
What makes Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa unique is his position in the prophetic office. As a seer, he sees and hears what God has in store for his people. As God's spokesperson, he speaks and relates the mind and the heart of the Most High. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa is set apart as a gift to this dispensation, called to stand in the gap for the countless lives. His character is the character of Jesus Christ. He expresses God's love to his people. He extends compassion to humankind. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa is called by God and is a true indication that God still speaks today. On the 18th of March 2016, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa took time to give prophecies, and the perfect platform to share these prophecies was none other than the Life Haven, the sanctuary of life. The guests at Life Haven included international guests who had traveled from various nations to have an encounter with Prophets Emmanuel and Ruth Makandiwa. The prophecies given by the man of God included international prophecies, individual prophecies, and prophecies concerning prominent personalities. Among the numerous prophecies given, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied about a certain prominent personality in particular. Let us hear what the prophet of God prophesied at Life Haven.
I saw in the spirit as I was praying, and one of it has to do with a sign that I saw, which was written on the roof, on the ceiling of the house. I got a name that was written some few days ago, and I shared this with some few pastors that were around me during that time. It's a revelation that took about from evening until the following day evening again. It was as if a word, but the word wasn't complete. I saw it. It was like remaps, and I saw it written on the ceiling as I was leaning on my bed some few days ago. I wasn't sleeping. I was awake, but I saw it written, remaps. I said, God, what is it? Why are you talking about maps? Is there anything that we need to adjust? So I began to think of this place, expansion, and so on. I said, but I was wondering, what is it about? So I kept on praying, until the following day, around 3 o'clock, somewhere there, the name again reappeared. And then this time it was actually complete. The Lord said to me, understand what I mean by this. Because before the name appeared, the Lord said to me, pray for his family and his life. Because I was just praying about the previous vision that I'd seen the previous night, and I was asking God, what do you mean by remaps? What is it about maps? So around 3 o'clock, that's when the Lord brought back the same revelation, but he told me, he said, pray for his life and pray for his family. And then for the last time, that word appeared again. Now it was so clear. It was written Ramaphosa. Okay, Ramaphosa. So the city of Ramaphosa in South Africa there. And Lord said we need to pray for the family. Yes. So after that, then I understood what the Lord meant. It was about a person, and God said, pray even for the family. And then the Lord then began to open up. I'd seen everything that was happening, and the family mourning, going through a lot of things. But they will be trying to investigate what is the cause. But maybe it's because of strength that is growing from underground. And is it a natural thing that is happening, or it's a planned thing?
Viewers, take note of what Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa is about to say.
I'm seeing it taking off, but it should have not. So are they supposed to come back and land? Where are they? Are they supposed to proceed? Which place is the closest? Where are they? So we need to pray. These are some of the few things that we just need to cover, and so on.
This entire prophecy is an indication that God truly loves his people. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied that he was given a sign by the Lord, and he could see a name on the ceiling of his house as he lay on his back.
A sign that I saw, I got a name that was written on the ceiling as I was leaning on my bed some few days ago.
The Bible in Proverbs 29 verse 18 from the King James Version says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Take note that as Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa lay down on his back with his eyes fixed upwards, God took it as the opportune time to show him a vision whilst he lay down in that position. The position that he lay in was prophetic, considering that all movement and gestures of a true prophet are prophetic. As Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa looked upwards, it was clear to him that whatever God would show him would happen upwards, referring to the sky in particular. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa saw an inscription on the ceiling written Remaps, which is short for remapping.
It was like remaps, and I saw it written on the ceiling as I was leaning on my bed.
According to Wikipedia, remapping means tuning an engine for better performance or fuel efficiency by reprogramming the engine control unit. Once again, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa highlighted that what he was seeing was written on the ceiling.
And I saw it written on the ceiling as I was leaning on my bed.
This was referring to an elevated position which is in the sky. According to Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, there was need to pray for Ramaphosa's family and his life.
The Lord said to me, pray for his family and his life.
This meant that the family of CYRIL Ramaphosa, as well as him as an individual, had to be covered in prayer. The man of God could see the calamity that was about to befall the Ramaphosa family. According to the man of God's prophecy, the life of CYRIL Ramaphosa was at stake.
The Lord then began to open up. I'd seen everything that was happening, and the family mourning, going through a lot of things.
Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa in his prophecy repeated maps, maps, maps.
What is it about maps?
What God was showing his prophet was geographical locations on a map showing a particular position where an event could have taken place. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa went further to prophesy with clarity the name of the subject in question, and that is Ramaphosa.
Now it was so clear, it was written Ramaphosa. The CYRIL Ramaphosa in South Africa there.
CYRIL Ramaphosa, who is known as Matamela CYRIL Ramaphosa, was born on the 17th of November 1952. He is a South African politician, businessman, activist, and trade union leader who has served as the deputy president under President Jacob Zuma since 2014. He was selected as deputy president of the African National Congress at the ANC National Conference in December 2012. He is also the chairman of the National Planning Commission, which is responsible for strategic planning for the country, respected as a skillful negotiator and strategist. Ramaphosa built up the biggest and most powerful trade union in South Africa, the National Union of Mine Workers, and played a crucial role with Rolf Meyer of the National Party during the negotiations to bring about a peaceful end to apartheid and steer the country towards its first democratic elections in April 1994. He is also recognized by Forbes magazine as one of Africa's 50 richest men. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa once again stated the need to pray for his family.
The Lord said we need to pray for the family.
This means the man of God could see what the devil was planning against the Ramaphosa family, and only prayer to God in heaven could nullify the weapon fashioned against them. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied that he could see an aircraft taking off, yet it should not have taken off.
I'm seeing it taking off, but it should have not.
This means that the aircraft had a technical fault that had not been diagnosed upon takeoff. On the 21st of March 2016, exactly 3 days after Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa's prophecy and call for prayer for CYRIL Ramaphosa, News 24 had the headline, Ramaphosa cancels Eastern Cape visit due to plane problems. Pretoria, Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa has cancelled his trip to Uitenhage, Eastern Cape, due to technical problems experienced by his plane, his office said on Monday. Deputy President Ramaphosa was scheduled to address the commemoration service of the 31st anniversary of the Uitenhage massacre in Eastern Cape. Spokesperson Ronnie Mamoyapa said, the South African Air Force aircraft in which Deputy President Ramaphosa was scheduled to fly to Eastern Cape developed technical difficulties, necessitating the cancellation of the visit to the Eastern Cape. Mamoyapa said all stakeholders, including organizers of the commemoration, were informed of the decision to cancel the trip following the problems with the plane. It is not the first time that a presidential plane has been grounded due to technical difficulties. Another report relating to the same issue was given by Business Day Live, and the headline said, CYRIL Ramaphosa misses Uitenhage service after Air Force flight cancelled. Part of the report by the media agency said, Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa had to cancel his visit to Uitenhage in the Eastern Cape yesterday because of the technical difficulties with the South African Air Force plane that was due to take him there. Mr. Ramaphosa was scheduled to address the commemoration service of the 31st anniversary of the Uitenhage massacre, in which 19 people were killed when police fired shots at a funeral procession. The cancellation of Mr. Ramaphosa's flight comes in the wake of technical problems experienced with a presidential plane that was due to transport President Jacob Zuma back to South Africa from Burundi recently. Similar problems occurred on a trip to Russia. These technical faults had been cited as justifying the call for a new presidential jet to be purchased at an estimated cost of 4 billion rand. The current presidential jet, Inkwazi, owned by the South African Air Force, has been grounded several times due to mechanical problems, but skeptical opposition party MPs believe that minor and easily fixable technical faults are being used as an excuse to make the accusation. Once again, exactly after 21 days after Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa's prophecy, South African media agencies had news related to Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa's challenge whilst mid-air. One headline by SABC News on Monday, the 4th of April 2016 stated, Ramaphosa safely back in Johannesburg. The report reads, Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa has been driven safely back to his Johannesburg home. This comes after his aircraft developed technical problems mid-air while traveling from White River in Mpumalanga to Waterkloof Air Force Base on Sunday night. The president and his deputy have faced numerous problems with South African National Defence Force aircraft. Ramaphosa's spokesperson, Ronnie Mamoyapa, says, Deputy President Ramaphosa was returning from Mpumalanga, where he was installed as the first chancellor of the new University of Mpumalanga and addressed the ANC-led Provincial Alliance Summit. Shortly after taking off from Kruger National Park Airport for Air Force Base Waterkloof in Pretoria, the aircraft developed technical faults mid-air, forcing the pilot to return the aircraft safely back to the airport. As a consequence, Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa was driven back safely by his South African Police Service security detail.
Well, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa had to be driven back to Johannesburg yesterday after his plane developed technical faults. Ramaphosa's plane experienced those faults a while after taking off from White River in Mpumalanga and was forced to return to the airport. The Deputy President had to be driven back to his Johannesburg home by his South African Police Service security detail. Ramaphosa was visiting the province over the weekend to be appointed as the Mpumalanga University's first Chancellor. He was also to address an ANC-led Provincial Alliance summit on Sunday. The actual cause of the technical slag with the Deputy President's plane is still unclear.
Another headline by Eyewitness News on the 4th of April 2016 stated, Ramaphosa's wings clipped in Mpumalanga. The open line for the report gave this briefing. An aircraft in which the Deputy President was meant to travel in developed technical problems. In Hosea chapter 12 verse 13 says, "And by a prophet the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt, and by a prophet was he preserved." The role of a prophet is one that should never be undermined, as he is used by God to preserve life. The issue of life was the main highlight of this prophecy. Just as the man of God had said, there was need to pray for CYRIL Ramaphosa's family and his life.
The Lord said to me, pray for his family and his life.
All these media reports are pointing towards the prophecy given by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. Judging by these reports that were given after Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa's prophecy, attempts had been made by the enemy against CYRIL Ramaphosa's life. In Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa's words, he could see a plane taking off, yet it should not have.
I'm seeing it taking off, but it should have not.
Was the plane that CYRIL Ramaphosa was in supposed to come back and land?
So are they supposed to come back and land?
Where were they?
Where are they?
Were they supposed to proceed?
Are they supposed to proceed?
Which place was the closest to where they were?
Which place is the closest? Where are they?
According to Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, the word remaps, meaning remapping, kept returning in his vision.
It was like remaps, and I saw it.
Considering that CYRIL Ramaphosa was flying and his aeroplane had a challenge mid-air, there was a need to remap, meaning that the engine of the aircraft he was in had to be tuned for better performance by reprogramming the engine control unit. Owing to the prophetic covering and the prayer made for him by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa, CYRIL Ramaphosa's life had been spared on 2 consecutive incidences. The first incidence of CYRIL's brush with death was nullified by the power of prayer when he cancelled his trip to Uitenhage due to technical problems experienced by his plane. The second incidence of his brush with death was also nullified by the power of prayer when shortly after taking off from Kruger National Park Airport for Air Force Base Waterkloof in Pretoria, the aircraft he was in developed technical faults mid-air, forcing the pilot to return the aircraft safely back to the airport. As a consequence, Deputy President CYRIL Ramaphosa was driven back safely by his South African Police Service security detail. The sparing of his life was also a covering over his family, sparing them from going through a period of devastation, as well as a cancellation of his premature death that could have taken place by reason of an airplane accident. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa had prophesied that he could see the family mourning, going through a lot of things.
And then the Lord then began to open up. I'd seen everything that was happening, the family mourning, going through a lot of things.
Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa also prophesied that the family would also want to investigate into the loss of his life.
But they will be trying to investigate what is the cause.
Let us go through what the man of God prophesied. Number 1. Remember, God showed Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa a sign relating to this prophecy. As he lay down looking upwards in a prophetic position, he saw a name written on the ceiling of his house. Number 2. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied the word remaps, meaning remapping. Remapping means tuning an engine for better performance or fuel efficiency by reprogramming the engine control unit. Number 3. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied about the need to pray for CYRIL Ramaphosa's family as well as CYRIL Ramaphosa's life. Number 4. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied about maps continually referring to a geographical position that this incident could have taken place. Number 5. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied the name of the subject of the prophecy, which is CYRIL Ramaphosa. Number 6. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied that what would happen to CYRIL Ramaphosa was related to an aircraft. Number 7. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied that the incident would take place in the sky. Number 8. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied about CYRIL Ramaphosa's family mourning. Number 9. The man of God also prophesied about the Ramaphosa family making investigations into the loss of CYRIL Ramaphosa's life. Number 10. Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa prophesied that the plane would return to land by reason of prayer, as instructed by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. CYRIL Ramaphosa's life was preserved, not only once but twice. This prophecy shows that God continues to speak explicitly through his prophet, Emmanuel Makandiwa. Nothing is hidden from the Lord, and his secrets are being revealed by his prophet, Emmanuel Makandiwa. To God be the glory. Some of the guests from South Africa and other nations who were present at the time when this prophecy was given by Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa have been calling the prophet's office with amazement on the fulfillment of a prophecy they witnessed first-hand being prophesied. However, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa's response was, "Don't thank me, let us thank the Lord Jesus, and still let's continue praying against the devil's plan B."
Gentlemen, I think it's quite amazing how prophecy doesn't only impact a nation, but it impacts an individual.
That's true.
And in this case, you've got the vice president of South Africa, CYRIL Ramaphosa. He's an individual that if he's impacted by a situation, it affects him personally. It'll affect a nation, most definitely, and Southern Africa at large. Viewers, after the break, we'll be taking a deeper look into the intricacies of this prophecy. Stay tuned.